Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Survivors Complex. Thank you for sticking with us. I know we had kind of an off week last week and had some random stuff come up. We are officially moved into our new place, so we have some semblance of normalcy again. So again, thank you for sticking with us through that trying month. We are ready to get back and get started. Just a couple of things before we get rolling into it. Reminder that we have our follower one-shot, which we just picked our winners for yesterday. That will be DM'd by yours truly next Sunday at 4 o'clock Eastern time? 2 o'clock Pacific time. It's on the Youth Pick Gaming Twitter, and I cannot remember the time for the life of me. Pretty sure it's 2 o'clock Pacific, though.
RDM, everybody.
I know. It has been it's been hell of a week. Otherwise, keep following, liking, commenting, subscribing on UP Gaming stuff. They're about to hit a couple of goals. They hit the Twitch goal, still creeping up on the YouTube and the what's the other one? The Twitter goals. So keep bumping it for your friends. Otherwise, I think that's all we've got right now as far as announcements. We'll have our usual ones after the game today. All right, so unless anybody else has anything to add, I will go ahead and get started with a recap. The last time that we saw each other, the group had just made it into the city of 10,000 Steps, the Tabaxi capital in the heart of Graldarr. You made your way to the pyramid, this ziggurat at the center of the city, and met with some of the Tabaxi delegates. It was there that you had your first encounter with the Unravel delegation. You met Prince Zinstor Zolvernik and the Yuan-Ti delegates that accompanied him. The negotiations and the conversations seemed to go pretty well. There was a little bit of tension. Zinstor seemed very forthcoming and open to your presence there, was friendly and caught you a bit off guard by that. As the negotiations began, it seemed again that the Ondakir delegation wasn't quite what you expected. They offered terms of some sort of alliance with the Tabaxi that were fairly favorable to the Tabaxi and even Yvrandalian. In turn, you turned in this letter that you had been sent with on behalf of the Stalwart Keepers, and which seemed to impose a little bit harsher terms that forbidding the Tabaxi from engaging in any sort of trade with Ondakir. The Tabaxi seemed a little bit undecided at this point, decided to postpone the talks until the Yvrandalian delegation could officially arrive so they could negotiate. You, on the other hand, or one of your members, Den, decided to speak with the prince privately. You spoke on a number of sort of personal issues to you, your people, and your homeland. Zinstor seemed to open up to you and divulge that there was something going on here that he did not wish to divulge unless he could be certain that you were in private. You decided to agree to a clandestine meeting at the top of the ziggurat in the middle of the night with your entire group. As you guys toured the city of 10,000 Steps, you decided to, or eventually, as the moon rose in the evening, made your way to the top of this ruby ziggurat and met Prince Zinstor as he arrived alone and relatively disguised. He told you about his true motivations for being in Graldarr. He expressed a distrust of the Tabaxi Council, expressing that his goal and the goal of his people was to secure a more peaceful and less extraplanarly influenced world. Seeing some of the recent goings on within Sarthia in the past few dozen years, incursions that had taken place with denizens of other planes trying to influence Sarthia. The Ondakir Empire seemed, by his words, interested in securing a safer world for all of Sarthia. Whether you trusted this or not, you did agree that something seemed suspicious here and that his words seemed to hold true to you. You agreed to help him determine what the source of this incursion here was in Graldarr. That there had been Tabaxi children or young Tabaxi that had gone missing, and there seemed to be some sort of influence by the Twilight Realms, the land of the Fae. You agreed to infiltrate the Ziggurat and seek out a location known as the Singing Stone Archives, where the secrets and legacy of the Tabaxi people is held in the heart of the Ziggurat. It was at that point, at this agreement, that you would meet once you had discovered any further information. If there was any information to discover, you would meet up with Prince Store again, and it was at that point that he took his leave, and you all set off to retire to your rooms or anything you wish to do for the evening. So that's where we will pick up right now, as you are all making your way down the steps of the Ziggurat.
Well, that went better than I thought it would.
He doesn't seem so bad.
I told you guys.
He seems better than I thought he would, but I don't know. I still don't trust him, but at the same time he told me not to, so that's a little bit.
Well, Star, do you have any idea where this archive is?
I have literally no idea at all. I was going to see if I could find out a few rumors or anything, but aside from that, I may go for a little wander later on.
Okay, you promise you're gonna be safe, right?
I'll be fine. I snuck around 1,000 steps when I was a boy. I'm sure the Ziggurat is no different.
Okay. Well, should we have like a meetup point if you don't come back? Just to, I don't know. I worry if you're out on your own.
You remember the bar I took you to earlier? The one in the back alleys. If I'm not back by tomorrow morning, go there and ask after me.
Okay. Rest of you okay?
I'll be fine, don't worry. You guys have a good night. I'm going to go wander around the city for a bit.
Before he goes, I cast Enhance Ability on him.
Woo!
Okay.
I give him Cat's Grace.
Alright.
You get
So that's advantage on
dexterity checks, and you don't take damage from falling 20 feet or less. Yeah, it only lasts an hour, but that's kind of all I got.
Okay.
Does he
So-
always land on his feet?
We will see. So, as you all, the rest of you heading back to your rooms, they've been provided for you within the Ziggurat.
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well.
All right. As the rest of you retire within the Garnet Sanctuary, your Tabaxi friend ventures off into the night, searching for secrets. Star, where is it you wish to go?
First place I'm going to go is that really seedy back alley bar that I took people to earlier to chat.
Okay.
Seems like the best place to start by far.
Okay. So you venture out down the ziggurat, past the Golden Square to some of the further reaches, the outskirts of 1,000 Steps, and back to this sort of makeshift tavern meeting area where some of the Tabaxi gather in the evenings. It's rather abandoned at this point, given that it's close to the middle of the night. There are a few sort of stragglers that are still sitting at some tables. Some of them are still drinking, others conversing in hushed whispers. What do you wish to do? How do you wish to approach?
First thing I'm doing is going straight up to the bar.
Okay, so you go up to the counter on the far side where a couple of Tabaxi are currently gathered. One of them, turns an eye in your direction as you approach. Just kind of gives a nod and says, "We're about to close up."
Don't worry, I won't be long. I just need to try to find a few things out and enjoy one of the places I used to stop at when I was coming here a few years ago.
All right, I can get a drink for you. What do you have, or what will you have?
I'll just order sort of a basic beer, just whatever their standard is.
Okay, so sort of a honey like mead is kind of what the basic Tabaxi sort of staple. He pours you a flagon in this carved wooden mug and slides it across the counter towards you. Says, "That's about all I can offer you right now."
This is fine. So, heard anything interesting in the city?
A few things. Heard that there were some outsiders traveling through here. But otherwise, nothing out of the ordinary.
I'm actually traveling with those outsiders.
Really?
I was hired to be a guide in it from a foreign land to lead them here for the peace talk delegations.
Huh. How do you find them?
They're all nice enough people. They're all on the up and up. There are those who have put more of an effort in to learn about us, but that goes with people in general. I trust not everyone here is happy to learn the common tongue or of the outside world, so it's a give and take.
I can't say that I'm happy to have outsiders within our city walls, but if the council has agreed to it, then we'll put our trust in them.
Speaking of the council, I've heard weird things about the ziggurat. Also weird things about Tabaxi going missing.
I don't know what you're speaking of. People come and people go, and I haven't heard of anyone going missing notable. And as far as the ziggurat and the sanctuary and the council, everything seems normal there, as far as what I've heard.
Okay, I was just checking. I figured I might as well ask. I haven't been home in a very long time.
Well, it's good to have you home, brother. Yeah,
It's good to be home.
I wish I could tell you more, but it's
fine.
quiet around here.
One other thing, I'm currently trying to track down a friend. I haven't seen him in a while. I was wondering if you'd be able to tell me anything. I knew he used to frequent here quite often.
Oh, what's his name?
Commonly goes by Bird.
Oh, the trader.
Yes, I thought I'd see him when I stopped in at the fort, but he wasn't there, and I haven't had much opportunity to stop at the villages on my way.
I haven't seen him. He's been through here a few times to help us restock. I haven't seen him for a few weeks now, but that's not out of the ordinary. He has a small hut near the outskirts of town. You might try there.
Oh, thank you very much. I finished my drink. How would you like me to pay for this?
You would know this as a tabaxi.
Yeah.
But being part of the society that you don't so much pay for drinks as long as you are working within the city and doing business and stuff. Everything's sort of just provided.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fairly, yeah. But so you finish your drink and he says, "Best of luck to you."
You too. I hope you have a good business day, and may the moon shine upon your ventures.
And you as well. So you head off. You gonna go look for Bird's abode?
No, I'm gonna try find the hut first.
That's what I meant. His hut. Yeah. Okay. So you follow the directions that he gave you, kind of towards the outskirts, and near or just like within the shadow of the walls, there are a number of small huts. They're kind of clustered around, just single resident dwellings. Tabaxi that spend most of their time outside of the city. You ask a few people that are still mulling about, even though it is pretty late in the evening, and they point you in the direction of Bird's home. You make your way over there, and you see this sort of small, simple, like one-room hut. There is a rack outside with some looks to be fish drying on them. The hut is currently dark. Not surprising given that it's the middle of the night. But you don't see Bird outside currently.
Last thing, I'm just gonna walk up, just knock on the door quickly. Sort of not hard enough to wake people up, just to see if there's anyone inside or at least awake at this hour.
Okay, so not enough to wake him up if he's sleeping, but enough that if somebody was listening, that they might be there. Okay, you rap on the door lightly a few times. There doesn't seem to be a response.
Can I listen for any noise?
Okay, make a perception check.
16.
You press your ear to the door, and you can just very faintly hear a noise coming within. Sounds like snoring.
I'm just going to get a scrap of paper out, just scrawl a note quickly saying Star's back, just slide that under the door and leave.
Okay. Slide the paper under the door, head back out into the city.
Then it's off towards the ziggurat. But first, before I go there, I would like to find like patches of loose dirt on the ground, just where I can pick up some soil and just rub that into my fur to change the color slightly.
Okay, so sort of trying to disguise yourself a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you proficient with disguise kits?
I am not.
Okay. I'm just gonna say make a performance check. If you're not proficient in performance, then just charisma.
11.
Okay. So you rub the dirt onto your fur, kind of matting the white coloring to kind of a duller grayish brown. It might not hold up on close inspection, but you imagine from a distance it might help.
Then it is off to the ziggurat.
Okay. So you approach the ziggurat from the kind of eastern side of town where you're coming from. As you make your way over, there are a number of entrances to it, some along the lower levels, some along the plateaus that you have come in through earlier. Is there a specific way you wish to try to enter the ziggurat?
I want to go in through an entrance I've definitely been in through before.
Okay.
But also going around, I want to look at the presence of any guards or anyone else around the building.
Okay. Are you trying to stay out of sight at this point, or are you?
I suppose I should try and stay out of sight at this point.
Okay. So I'm going to have you make 2 rolls then. Make a stealth check and a perception check.
That is a 17 on the stealth and an 18 on the perception.
You have advantage on the stealth too.
I did forget about that. Still a 17 on the stealth.
Okay. Good to remember, though. How long does that last for, by the way?
An hour.
Okay. Do you have to maintain concentration on it?
Yeah, so I'm gonna stay up for the whole hour after I cast it. Yeah, and then
okay. At this point, with the amount of time going to the bar and heading back, you probably only have about 20 minutes left on the spell. You kind of have a general sense of that, Star.
Mm-hmm.
So you, and what'd you say you rolled on the perception?
18.
18. Okay, so you head back up towards the Golden Square, this community center that you've been in and out there a few times before, now completely vacated by any merchants or denizens of the city. You head in through this large opening there. As you begin to round the corner, you peer in and you very faintly hear footsteps, so you duck out of sight. You see a set of guards making their way out of the entrance and down the steps of the Golden Square to the city below. They don't seem to notice you as you then kind of roll around the corner and proceed inside. There is a large antechamber within here and a number of passages leading out. There's one single passage that actually leads straight into the heart of the ziggurat that you guys have been through before, leading to the council chambers that you were in previously. And then there are passageways leading to the left and the right, staying on the same level. Is there anything you're looking for specifically?
At the minute, it is just looking for passageways I have not been down before, so I'm going to start by going to the left.
Okay, so just sort of generally scoping out, kind of mapping out the place as quietly as you can.
Yeah.
So you head off to the left following this passage. You pass by very quietly, trying to stay out of sight, a number of doors, smaller passageways along the way. Stopping at the doors in these passages, you check them one by one. For the most part, there are some mostly residences within here, some of the higher ranking members of Tabaxi society living within this sanctuary. You also, as you make your way around, you find kitchens and other places within these small meeting areas. Pretty much what you'd expect. There are some grain storage areas too. There are also a couple of passages with stairs leading both up and down.
I would like to take the stairs leading downward first.
Okay. So you, after kind of mapping out the area, you find some stairs leading down. You begin to skulk down those as well. You reach the bottom of the stairs. Well, actually, I'll ask you this. There's a point, you head down the stairs about 30 feet, and there's a point where it levels out. There's a passageway leading off to another level. The stairs continue going down.
I'm going to carry on down.
Okay, so ignoring that level, which you feel is probably about the ground level of the ziggurat, but you continue down into a subterranean area. As you reach the bottom, the stairway ends, and there is a passageway leading forward. You skulk down that, reaching a T intersection where you look to the left and the right, very quickly darting out of sight as you do see, standing at the end of the left hall, there are a set of guards currently posted just outside a door. The passageway to the right is currently dark.
Okay, what? I have no idea if this will work or not, but why not? I'm going to try it. What I would like to do is just checking my spells quickly. How big are these corridors and passageways?
Probably about 10 feet wide, and a little over 10 feet tall.
That is perfect. What I would like to do is in the C-junction towards where the guards are, I am casting a silent image that just looks like the corridor continuing going down.
Okay. So you're casting an image near the guards so that they're seeing an empty corridor.
Not right near the guards. I want to do it so it's just at the T-junction. So
okay. Yeah. So sort of like, was it the newest Mission Impossible movie? They put up the screen there, so it just looks like
basically.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. So you put up the screen there. You see the silent image just for the faintest end, sort of flickers in the light, not enough to really draw attention to it, but enough that you see this sort of shimmering illusion, like a painting in place.
Then I continue into the dark passageway. I have dark vision, so that's no problem.
Okay, yeah. So you follow down, pretty confident that your illusion will hold. How long does that stay in effect for?
Up there, it's concentration up to 10 minutes.
Okay.
As soon as I sort of can turn a corner, I'll drop that so it's not there anymore.
Okay. So you drop the illusion as soon as you round the corner at the end of the passageway. You find that as you round it and you continue off to the right, there reaches a point following that passage where you feel the ground kind of sloping downwards, looking like it's leading deeper underground. You continue to follow down that way. There are torches, like sconces for torches along the wall, though they are not currently lit. You follow that sort of down as it sort of slopes and curves in a wide arc for a little while now, probably the next minute or two. As it levels off and you follow that for just a few seconds longer, you can see in the distance a bit of light coming in from the rounded passageway. Looks like there's some sort of torchlight or flickering light just around the curve. You sort of crouch low, follow along the wall, getting just to the point where you're at the edge of the light, peeking around to see what's there. You see posted there a large stone door with a engraving across the front of like a night sky. It's beautiful, very old engraving. The door itself is currently unguarded, but there are 2 torches lit, one posted on either side of the door.
Just looking through them, can I see any other passageways leading into it?
Leading into this hallway or where this door is?
Yeah.
No, there are no other passageways down here other than the one that you saw those other guards at previously.
Okay. I might as well give myself a bit of time here. I'm going to do another silent image sort of looking into this bit, just so it looks like it's just the torches and the door on their own. So, like, if I'm up close, they hopefully shouldn't see me.
So you're going to put it like behind you so you can be at the door and they won't see you. So if anyone comes down the passageway, they'll just see they'll just see the door as normal.
That's the idea.
Okay, just making sure I understand. Okay, so you cast the image there to give you a bit of cover and time to work. What would you like to do? How would you like to approach this?
First thing is, does the door or anything else have any writing around it, or?
No writing, just this sort of mural on it.
And the mural is just of the sort of the night sky.
Yeah, the base of it, you can see kind of pictures of trees, like the canopy of a jungle, and then night sky. There are stars and a big full moon, basically smack in the center.
I'm just gonna actually first I am checking the door for traps or alarms because that's the smart thing to do.
That is. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
13.
13. You check the door, seeing if there are any traps along it. You don't find any traps along the edges. You very carefully check. However, you do notice during your investigation that the door is locked.
Oh no, a locked door. Whatever shall I do? The rogue is gonna rogue.
Okay. So it's this big, like in the center of the door, actually along the seam, there's this big iron locking mechanism there. The mechanism, as you inspect it, and I'll count this as part of your investigation check, you see that it's not your typical like key turning, or it's not your typical like single bolt lock. It looks like there's some sort of mechanism that's meant to fit into it. You can certainly attempt to pick it, but it's probably going to take a couple of checks to get the mechanism turning the right way. So I'm going to have you make your first check with your thieves' tools using intelligence to try to decipher exactly how a mechanism should fit in here and how that should work.
So that's an intelligence check plus my proficiency bonus, or
yes.
Yeah. 19.
19. Okay. So you inspect it for a bit, take out your thieves' tools, and you sort of measure different elements of it, get the idea of what turns, what doesn't. After inspecting it for a few seconds, pretty quickly, you gather the shape and size of the item that fits into this mechanism and how it would need to turn in order to unlock it. You then pull out your thieves' tools to begin to prepare, fashioning some of them in a way where you can sort of construct a rudimentary sort of object to fit into this lock and then turn it. So for this one, I will have you make your the same thieves' tools check, this time with dexterity, as you are now actually trying to pick the lock. This one you have advantage on still.
Well, hey, that's the next thing I was going to ask. 12?
With advantage?
Yep.
Okay. You begin to mess with the lock, and you pull at it and kind of get the thing fashioned in there and as best you can. The mechanism, or the kind of way you jury-rig the thing, you go to turn it, and it isn't moving. In fact, as you try to move it, it makes this sort of horrible kind of scraping noise that you can hear, kind of echoes down the passageway behind you.
Anything in this room in this bit looks like a statue, cabinet, something I could hide behind?
Here, no, it is the kind of smooth walls, just with the torch sconces on either side, and you currently have your illusion behind you.
Can I just make a quick perception check to see if I hear anyone coming?
Okay, yeah, make a perception check.
21.
21, that's pretty good. As you listen for a few seconds, you hear echoing down the passageway some muffled words. You can't make out what they're saying, but you hear very distantly some words being said, and then a single set of footsteps. It's a ways off. You gather based on how fast or the gait of the footsteps and how far you've moved since where those guards were. You probably have about a minute until they get there.
Have I got time in that to try and make another check?
You do. One more check.
Still with advantage?
Still with advantage.
Screw it. 19.
19. Okay, as the sweat begins to bead around around your ears, you very quickly begin to pull the mechanism off and rearrange it, getting the different components and the picks placed into the different gaps and slots around the side of it. You hear the footsteps growing closer and closer, and finally, as you swear they must just be around the corner, you turn the mechanism and you hear kind of a as it seems to unlock, and you feel the door give and you can push it open.
Just push the door open, go inside, close the door, drop my illusion.
Okay, very quickly you wheel around the door, just opening it enough for you to move through. You let it close behind you and you drop concentration on the illusion. You quiet for a moment. You hear the footsteps. Stop, just feet away from the door. Then you hear him begin to proceed back the other way.
So now I've got so what can I see in this room then?
Okay, as you kind of stand by the door, breathing heavily, you finally turn around and look back into the room, and what you see is actually smaller than what you expected. Probably about a 30-foot across space. There is, or are, a few shelves, stone shelves within this room. And you notice there's a faint sort of greenish blue glow that's permeating through this area. And you can see that glow is coming from about 5 stones that sit on the different shelves. Each one of them is sort of resonating and giving off this glow of light.
What is on these shelves?
The stones.
It's just stones.
Just the stones. And they look like sort of polished crystals. You can't see through them, they're opaque. But they are giving off a kind of a dim glow to them.
Okay. Checking the room for traps.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
23.
All right. 23. You search around the room, checking all the nooks and crannies as you kind of scope around it before proceeding towards the stones. You do not see any signs of traps, any warding or anything that might set you off that there's some sort of that something will go off if you move towards these stones.
Well, no other way to proceed. I'm gonna just touch one of the stones.
Okay, so you move up to one of the ones closest to you. You see that the stones, as you move closer, they're about the size of like dinner plates, and they have scrawling across them. It's not necessarily writing; it looks like arcane sort of enchanting, almost. Something that you would be mildly familiar with. You place a hand on one of the stones, and you notice too, as you see them, though they are circular, they do look cracked at the edges, like they were broken off of something larger. You place a hand on one of them, and you immediately hear a whispering in your mind. Like a conversation. It's not sinister, but as if somebody is speaking and is just resonating directly into your brain. I don't think do you speak Elven?
I'm currently learning to speak Elven.
That's right. I need, well, actually, so with the way that I set this up and the willing creatures because you have to kind of have someone that's willing to work with you at this point, learning this language. I'm going to say you recognize it as Elven, and you can pick up certain words and bits and pieces here and there. You hear the it's almost instructional sounding, based on what you're hearing. Like somebody was, I guess, like recording a message for somebody else to listen to, and you definitely hear a reference to Tabaxi, and you hear a reference to the jungle itself, and that's about all you pick out from this stone specifically.
Given what I know about Elven, Tabaxi, Fae, we've talked about them being sort of similar, would I be able to write out what the stone is saying phonetically?
Okay. You could try that if you. It might take you a little while if you're going to go to each one of these stones. You also need to get an idea of how long the message is going to be for each one of them before you.
I will just do this first one. Depending on how long that takes, I may move on to the others or see what they've got to say. Or
okay. So you place your hand on it, taking out some other scraps of paper to write on. You listen to the message once fully, and the whole thing is probably about 3 minutes in length. As you listen to it, you kind of understand what it says, and you begin to very slowly carry out the process of doing this. Your spell den fades, the time finishing on that as this is happening. So you can begin doing that, and you can continue doing that for the other stones. All in all, as you proceed through this, it's probably going to take you, I'd say, about an hour to get through all of it.
I'm here, I may as well try.
Okay. So, is there anything else any of you are doing while Alex destroys his mic?
No, I think Lucius is good.
I'm
Okay.
sleeping.
All of you going to sleep?
I want to pray a little bit first.
Okay.
I'm gonna make sure all my equipment is like ready to go at a moment's notice.
Okay.
I'm like Minuteman right now.
All right. Yeah, you can do that. So some of you getting some rest, some of you preparing in case the worst happens. You have a screaming Tabaxi come running through the down the hallway. Okay. So as you all are, and Den, of course, praying as you feel that connection with your spell fade, as you lose concentration on it. Star, you spend the next hour working on the sort of phonetics of what you're hearing. You're getting it down. Actually, I'm going to have you just make one general sort of intelligence check to see how, I guess, decipherable this will be when you get it to somebody that can read it.
7.
7. Okay. I mean, you're getting elements of it. You know that there are things you're going to be able to understand from this, but by your understanding, you're getting the general gist. There might be some details that get left out, but you do hear a couple of other things as you're writing this down, because you're kind of basically understanding some of it, and you do hear one reference to the marked ones, and you hear a reference to the Starlight Mountains. And let's see, I think that's about, yeah, that's what you'll get from, because you're focusing mostly on getting the phonetics right. That hour passes, and you have fully been able to go to each one of these stones and get as much as you can from them.
Well, no matter how interesting these are, I'm resisting the urge to do the truly dumb thing. I want to go listen at the door to make sure there's no one out there.
Okay. So you head over to the door, listen at it, go ahead and make a perception check.
7.
7. You don't hear anyone on the other side.
Oh, don't hear anyone, so I'm going to open up that door.
Okay. You there's a mechanism on the inside you're able to pull, and you can hear the locks disengage again, and the door opens. You peer around, there doesn't seem to be anybody in the hallway.
Step out the doorway, try close the door as quietly as possible, start making my way back down the passageway.
Okay. So as you begin to retreat and trying to make your way back to your quarters, I'm going to need you to make a stealth check.
Why have my... come on, dice rolls, don't fail me. Oh, 22.
22. Okay. So you're actually able to make it to the end of the passageway and sneak past that intersection where the guards are, timing it just right to when they seem a little bit occupied. You duck down the corridor, make your way up the steps, and heading back to your where you've been given your quarters, where you know your companions are. As you round one of the corridors, you kind of similar to before, you begin to come around it, you peer around it, and you quickly retreat. You do see, as you make it to about the second level, maybe about 100 yards off from where your rooms are going to be, you see coming down the passageway, and then stopping for a moment, the UNT delegation, or the ambassador. You see, let's see. Where is it? You see Ambassador Threskish, currently the human woman, or the human-looking UNT woman with the copper scales. She's stops in the passageway, and the serpent that is with her, this large snake, comes sliding down another passage towards her. You see, as you're peering around, the snake kind of rear up, and you swear you hear them having a conversation. You hear the snake talking. You don't understand the language.
I'm just waiting this out.
Okay. So you wait for a moment, you kind of hear this very kind of guttural, kind of with that kind of hissing snake-like tongue, kind of like parcel mouth or parcel tongue, but more Russian. It's the best way I can describe this, like Vladimir Putin speaking parcel tongue. But you listen for a minute. Eventually the conversation stops, and you can hear the footsteps in this kind of sliding against the stone, retreating down a different passageway.
As soon as I'm sure they're out of earshot, I am gonna just head back to the room.
Okay. After just, like I said, about 100 yards, you make it back to the rooms that you've been given. Those of you that are sort of semi-awake or awake still, you hear the door open and Star comes rushing in.
First thing I am going to do is try and wash this dirt out of my fur, and then I'm going to sleep.
Okay. So are you guys all going to rest for the evening then? All right. So the evening passes, and eventually you all wake up. There are some slits in the walls. You're on like the exterior walls to the sanctuary, where light begins to pierce through towards the morning, sort of illuminating your rooms.
I get up and pray.
Okay.
Coffee. All the coffee.
All right.
Oatcakes. All the oatcakes.
So you all begin to
Catnip.
eat.
No, after the night I had, I think I'm finally gonna like use the pipe I've got, just smoke, just chill for a bit.
All right. Just some kind of mellow out with some pipe weed. All right. It does calm you down very much, actually. So Star kind of begins to chill in the corner.
I join him because why not?
Okay.
You ever just look at the sky, man?
You have no idea.
I come over and start playing some really trippy music.
Okay.
Please tell me it sounds like the tune from Deliverance or something.
All right. Anything? I mean, what are you guys doing? Besides sleeping?
So Star, did you find anything last night?
I just wandered about, met up with some old people. I think I might know where an old friend is in the city, actually. I may take you to see him later. I'm just sort of holding my finger up to my lips as I say that.
Oh! Okay!
So wait. Are we like... Where are we right now?
You are in the quarters that have been provided for you. It's essentially it's all part of like one like suite essentially. There is a central area where there are some tables and chairs, and there's been some food provided for you, and then about 4 rooms off to the sides with beds in them for all of you.
So we're basically in like the common room.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's just us in here.
As far as you know.
That we know of.
Is there only one door leading out of here?
Yes.
Cool.
As far as you know.
I want to try something.
Okay.
Can I ritual cast silence? But like, can I put, because it's like a globe, I guess. Can I put it like around the door?
Okay.
Like around that side of the room?
You can. You make an intelligence check.
Oh god. I pray to my god to help me. 18.
18.
Because I rolled a natural 20.
Then I will tell you that Den would have thought about the fact that it will go through to the other side of the door. So if anyone is walking by in the passageway, they will suddenly be in the sphere of silence.
So can I do it where it like... I just want to like block off that side of the room, so if anybody comes up to like listen to at the door, or they're like outside,
so you want to do it
and
like
hear us, yeah,
close enough where the edge of the circle is like just cresting the door. Also, note if it's blocking off it'll essentially block off the side of the room, so any sound made on the other side of the room won't be able to pass through it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want us to be able to talk in here and have no sound go towards the door.
Okay. So you sit down for 10 minutes and
Yeah.
ritually cast the silence of this invisible sphere that just shimmers for a moment and then subsides, appears in that area.
Now no sound can get in.
Good thinking, Dad.
No one's ever said that to me before.
So, I think I found where the archives are.
Oh, really?
I couldn't get much at this point. I pull out the papers, hand them to Sadel. There are these things that spoke in Elvish while I was down there. I couldn't understand it. I tried to write it down phonetically for you, if you could make any sense of it.
All right, I'll give it a shot.
They mentioned some strange things. Tabaxi, jungle, marked ones, and Starlight Mountains.
So you're going to read over the writings that Star has given you?
Yep.
Okay. So it's a little difficult because, like I said, it's written phonetically, so you have to read it out loud, kind of go through it and one by one and realize what the words are. And you find that it is a bit disjointed. You're not getting like cohesive sentences out of it, but you are able to pull basic ideas. And a couple of the sheets are more like historical. It speaks of a kind of the goings on of a city. Sounds like some sort of official documenting different activities within the city. Like I say, it starts mid-sentence and then cuts off very abruptly. You sort of get like an excerpt of a city official, discussing relations with other cities on the continent, progress that's been made with warding and magical research, arcane research. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to you or has too much relevance. You do find one, though, that was the first one that you looked at, Star, that's much more cohesive, and it actually comes across as something that was specifically told to one of the Tabaxi, some sort of instruction that's been given to a Tabaxi elder. And these instructions mention sort of orders to bring marked Tabaxi to a name in Elvish, which loosely translates to the city of crawling mists. Basically discusses that to do this every few years with each generation, and that's about what you get with it.
Some of these, what you've written down are some historical, just kind of a city official discussing relations with other cities, but this one here is interesting. These seem to be instructions of some sort to a city elder, to a Tabaxi elder. They're orders about bringing marked Tabaxi to the city of crawling mists every generation, every few years or so. But that's about all I could gather.
You're muted.
Just realized that. Did it say anything about what kind of mark?
Nope.
Will I know roughly where the city of crawling mists is?
You do, yeah. from your exploits and things that you were taught.
From various misbehavings.
Yeah, you are familiar. It's a kind of it's ruins now more than it is a city. There's nothing there anymore.
I've got the map up. I just wanted to make sure the character knew the location.
But as far as you know, it's a location that no one goes to because it's considered or told to be very dangerous and sort of not really forbidden to go there, but or like no one does because no one's that stupid.
We could find it on the southwestern coasts, in that general area anyway. If we're going to find more out, I feel we may need to go there.
How far away is it?
I assume you're about to ask me. It's about the same distance as it was from Fort Harrington.
Yeah, I assumed it was, just wanted to double check.
Yeah.
About the same distance to Fort Harrington. If we're are going to go there, I would like to make a small detour first, if that's okay.
That's really far.
I mean, that's like a 2-month trip, right?
Just about.
Ugh. Well, is there like any time frame context? Like, is this a super old conversation that was had between two people or are they still bringing marked ones over?
This was behind a door which had a very interesting lock, actually. It was not actually sort of your typical tumbler lock. It was more the sort of keystone kind of thing where you'd have to put something in and
Start.
Star, get to the answer.
Too much
Do we-
information.
Do we have any idea of timing of when this conversation took place, or when this agreement, or?
I have no idea. It was just behind the door. There were no dates or things on the shelves they were on. If it still goes on, though, it matches what we were told about there being disappearances or kidnappings.
What is it with this place and disappearances? Stupid.
Far too many old legends, far too many dangerous things in the jungles.
Around this time, Den, you kind of get a slight twinge, like a headache for a second, and you hear a voice, Zinstor. Very brief message, or sending spell, and says, what's your status? Any progress?
I go, ow.
Everything okay there?
You okay then?
I just talk back, I guess. I heard that like inside my head, or like he was like next
Inside
to me.
your head, basically.
I try to think back that we may have found something and that we should probably meet again at some point. I just say something very vague like that.
Okay. So you send that back. The headache sort of fades a bit.
Well,
I just
what are we
sit there.
doing, guys?
No one's going to... Wait, did she say that out loud as well?
No, I just said ow.
no,
Oh,
And
okay.
went like this.
Everything okay?
Yeah.
Alright.
You ever get one of those like weird headaches that's just like for a second and then it's gone?
Yes. It's almost like a you drink something cold and it freezes your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
There should be a name for that.
There should be. I don't know why there's not.
Cerebral frost.
Brain blizzard.
Brain blizzard.
Wow, guys.
So, what are we going to do now? Because
Well-
it's a 2-month journey.
We
We
can't just
can't.
leave. So we're
We
waiting
have to
on
stay in the city until the delegation gets here proper.
Yeah.
Is there? Tell me about this city of mist. Like, what is it? What was it?
Do I know much about what it was? Can I make a history check on that, or is it no clue at all?
Well, you can make a history check.
I need things open. Boopy doopy doop. 21.
All right, no clue at all. I'm just kidding. Your history of it is not so much located to the to what the city was beforehand. Not many people, or nobody, as far as you know, really knows like what the city was. You do know that it's Elven. You know that it was never inhabited by Tabaxi, unlike some of the other ruins around here, the City of Glass and the Bones of the Old World were at one point or another inhabited by Tabaxi that sort of consolidated in 10,000 steps. City of Crawling Mist was never like that. Nobody's ever been there, and it is widely avoided by your people. And there are sort of legends and stuff coming out of there that, you know, dangerous things lurk in the mists and that sort of stuff.
I relay that information.
Okay.
How old is it?
I don't know. They've been here similar to the city and other ruins as long as anyone can remember, as far back as any records go.
Do you think there's something in the city, the main library, maybe some of the elders would know some more information about it?
The elders, someone asking questions may be fairly innocuous.
We are strangers in a new land that we could ask without being, I think, too much of a hindrance. Maybe.
Den, get another twinge of a headache around this point. And you hear another message come into your head saying, "If you wish to meet now, open the door."
Okay, I don't respond to that one. Is my silence spell still up? It only lasts for 10 minutes.
It's about to go out.
It's about to go away.
Yeah.
All right. Sphere of Silence is about to go away. Also, I think Prince Tiefling might be outside.
You know, he does have a name. I don't like the man, but he does have a name.
Again, hashtag not all
Not all
tieflings.
tieflings.
But this Tiefling specifically.
Prince Tiefling.
Should I
Prince
let him in?
Prince Zalvornik is outside. Let me show you guys my psychic powers. And I do like this. And then I go over and open the door.
Then those are psychic powers. She goes and opens the door, and there's no one standing there.
Oh.
And then you hear a voice echoing from nothing in front of you. It says, "If you step inside, and I'll come in."
Okay, I step back. I wait till I hear footsteps come in, and I shut the door.
You hear footsteps, and you kind of feel something move in front of you.
I just expected her to step aside and close the door on him.
Wait.
As he enters the room, there's a few seconds pass. You close the door, and then kind of fading into existence there, Prince Silverneck is standing in front of you.
I stab him to death.
Shocking grasp!
Wow! I didn't know you could do that, Dan. That was awesome.
Right.
Very
I'm
impressive.
amazing.
The prince kind of looks around like he doesn't quite get the joke that's going on. Says, "Is this a good time?"
Well, I mean, we just woke up, so.
No, I'm sorry if I woke you. Den said that there was progress.
When did you talk to him? You've been here the whole time.
She is amazing.
I don't say anything. I just go.
Wow.
But it's really cool because my fingers are webbed.
Fingers are webbed.
So it's like a wave.
I'm sure that's funny and all, but I don't have much time. They'll notice I'm gone before too long.
He talked in my brain. I don't know. So I said, we may have found something we don't know. That's all I said.
Dan, if you could quickly do your spell on the door again.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Are you casting it or are you doing another 10-minute ritual?
I'll just cast it.
Alright. Cast it.
So, I found the archives.
You found the archives. Were you able to get inside?
Oh yeah, the luck was really interesting actually. I was actually...
We don't need to know this. We'll talk about it later.
What did you learn? Am I wrong? Is there involvement with...
I can't be sure yet. We know there's something special about the Tabaxi in the jungle. There's mention made to marked ones being taken to the city of Crawling Mists. There's a location mentioned that I'm not familiar with, the Starlight Mountains.
Just gonna roll. No. I've never heard of that either. You mentioned the city of Crawling Mists. That sounds familiar to me. Is that something from your homeland here?
It's a ruin in the southwest.
I see. We should go there. Well,
at some point.
Well, not now.
Now? It's a 2-month journey.
I can have us there immediately.
How?
The same way that we got here before you. I didn't study for 6 years at the Arcanus Imperium for nothing. I know my way around magical sigils.
Fair enough.
He can talk in people's brains, you guys. I feel like he's pretty good.
One, I completely forgot that you were at the college at the same time, and two, I just assumed that you had a different course of study because, I mean, royalty.
I studied there because I'm the only one in my family that possesses these abilities. Yes, no one studies at the Arcanus Imperium and doesn't learn magic. That doesn't... Oh, you're right. Did you actually attend there?
I just assumed you would be taught more things that, like, different things to, like, how to lead, and it's just a honorary position. I didn't actually think they taught you anything.
I'm standing behind Lucius going...
That's what my brother learned.
Oh.
And that was taught to him by my father and his advisors. He tries to kind of stifle a chuckle.
Can I, like, feel her doing that?
I'm gonna say no because it's funnier.
Okay.
But he says, I can try to get you as close as possible. I haven't been there before, so there's a chance that it may not be very close. And I can get you there, and I can come back and find you, and bring you back. I probably shouldn't stay though, because I will be missed, and if you're missing and I'm missing, things could go badly.
I have something I need to do in the city first, today if preferable.
Alright. If we can resolve this before your delegation arrives, then maybe we can avoid conflict. We can withdraw from Graldarr, and your delegates can do with the Tabaxi as they wish.
Do we have any idea when our delegation's going to get here?
It's hard to say. They said they'd be probably a couple weeks behind you, so maybe 14 to 20 days, somewhere around there.
I think Savannah wanted to add something.
Yeah.
I just sit here awkwardly raising my hand. When he says the thing about withdrawing, can I insight check him?
Sure.
Good call.
16?
16. He's... I'm gonna whisper something to you.
Ah.
He seems honest enough. He seems to maybe have some reservations about how that could go. Like he's not fully confident in his words, but isn't trying to necessarily hide anything from you.
Okay. So like maybe... So like he means it.
Mm-hmm.
He just is maybe not totally sure about... There's a lot of voguing happening in the room right now. Maybe he's not totally sure about like the execution of that plan. Okay.
Okay.
Were we successfully distracting?
No. So, yeah, that's about what you get from it.
That's canon.
Just while she was sitting there thinking, we were all like dancing to music.
Also, an impromptu dance party.
So that's the deal then. We fix the thing. Whatever's happening here, bad stuff in the mists and all that, and Ondaki just goes away.
That's the plan.
And how does that work? Do you just say, just kidding, we're leaving, and everyone leaves? You are the prince.
I tell the UNT delegates that we have accomplished our goals here. We tell the Tabaxi that we do not wish to cause any trouble for them, and that they should be more than capably tended to and be able to come to some sort of agreement with your delegation.
About your UNT friend quickly. I saw her last night actually as I was making my way back. Out of her room, she met with her snake. It looked like they had a conversation and carried on, I assume, back to their rooms.
I know that the UNT can speak to snakes. That isn't too odd.
Any idea what she'd be doing out of the room in the middle of the night, though?
I'm not sure. I mean, they are secretive in their nature. I mean, her speaking to the snake is no concern. I've seen the UNT do so before. The snake speaking to her, that would be different. That would be strange.
They definitely had a conversation. I'm sure it was going both ways.
It was speaking to her.
That's what it seemed like. It wasn't just her saying, like, giving instructions. There was... I couldn't understand the language or anything, but there was... It was definitely more of a conversation instead of listening or one person giving orders.
We may have a bigger problem there than I thought. I'll see what I can find out about this. Thank you for letting me know.
I need the morning at least to go try and find someone. And after that, I'll be freed for whatever.
All right. Do you wish to travel there? I will not make you if you... That's not what you desire.
There are things there that definitely need to be figured out. The sooner the better.
All right. If we're in agreement with that, I will meet you midday. Let us meet back here. All right.
Okay.
I should be going then. If you don't mind opening the door. He concentrates and mutters for a minute as he traces his hands through the air, and you watch as his form shimmers and goes invisible again.
I'm going to go and see a friend. Does anyone want to come with me?
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Sure.
Are there things to kill?
Hmm?
Are there things to kill?
Probably not.
Is there music to play?
If he's drunk, yes.
Okay, I'll come.
Does this city have any, like, temples or anything?
I'm guessing there would be a temple to Lelavoth somewhere.
Yeah, to Lelavoth.
I say where that is and roughly the way to go.
I'm gonna go there.
Technically, isn't this a huge temple? You know, think of that.
Yeah.
Hey.
The top.
I'm sorry, don't electrocute me.
The top of the ziggurat is sort of a shrine to Lelavoth.
Okay.
There are other sort of worship areas around the city that you could find as well.
Is there like a small one that's not like on top of a giant pyramid?
There are, from what Star tells you, there are statues sort of spread throughout the city, on near fountains and other kind of garden areas.
I go find one near a fountain.
Okay.
Sadel? What are you going to do with your day? Or morning, at least?
Well, I just figured I'd explore the city a bit. I haven't really had the chance to, and I'd, like to see it.
Fair enough. I'm sure you can figure out your way around. Well, let's go get breakfast and go for a walk.
Okay. So your group sort of disperses. Some of you heading towards. So who's going with Star towards? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then Sadel, are you just going to go with Dan around the city, or are you just going by yourself?
I'll go with Dan, but when she goes into pray, I'll kind of go on my own.
Yeah, that is fine. So you separate to two groups, making your way to different areas of the city. Star heading over to look for Bird, and Den and Sadel going to look for somewhere to pray and hang out. Kyle had to leave. I forgot to mention that at the beginning, but he had planned on having to go early. Family coming down, all that good stuff. So the rest of us will be carrying on without him. Before we get started, while Savannah is currently messing with fixing the overlay, there was earlier I mentioned something about like new language rules that I implemented. I can give more details on those or put them on Twitter later on in case anybody's interested, but I have incorporated sort of a homebrew language learning aspect, which makes it kind of tempers the process so there are different levels of language sort of fluency that players can benefit from instead of just having it be all or nothing. So that way I think we have Star and I think Lucius are both currently in the process of learning new languages. So as the game goes on, they will become more fluent with them, and those translate, and I'll put more details on later, into being able to make ability checks to understand the language or comprehend what somebody else is saying, so on and so forth. But I'll put out that stuff later on in case anybody's interested. Otherwise, we will go ahead and get back into it as you guys all separate. We will start with Star and company heading around to the eastern side of the city to find Bird's hut. You wind your way through the now busy alleyways of Thousand Steps, and eventually you come back upon the outer wall where there are these huts for some of the, I guess, outlanders of the city, and it's there that you see Bird's hut, the same as you did before, and you do see the familiar Tabaxi peddler that you are so fond of, Star. Is currently sitting on the stoop of his house or his hut there, taking down the fish that had been drying, wrapping them up and setting them aside. You approach, and the kind of middle-aged, older Tabaxi looks up in your direction, kind of squints for a second, gives a toothy smile and says, Star, is that you?
It has been a few years, old man.
It does. Looks like they've treated you well. Look, I didn't know you were back in Thousand Steps.
We've been back on land for a couple of months. We only got here the other day.
That's good. How are you? What have you been up to?
I'm well. I've been doing the things you taught me, doing the things you taught me not to do, just the usual. And
as he's saying this and you're having this conversation, he puts the stuff aside and he comes up and kind of embraces you.
Oh, yeah.
And puts his hands on your shoulder and kind of looks you over and says, you look well. Please, are you? I assume these are your friends with you?
Yes, these are my friends, Lil, Barb, and Lucius.
Pleasure to meet you as well. Please come in. Are you hungry? I can make some tea, or I have some food around I can scrounge up.
I have a dumb question. Are they talking in Tabaxi or are they talking in common?
That's up to Star. Or do you guys wish to talk in common or Tabaxi?
At some point, I will just say, just put the conversation into common. Okay. I'm dead certain he'd speak common anyway if I didn't know he could. So
yeah, so the conversation starts in Tabaxi when they first greet each other, but as soon as he turns towards all of you, switching over to common to greet you.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. But yeah, so he invites you to come inside. Do you wish to come inside? Are you busy?
Of course, some tea would be great.
All right. He heads in and begins to rummage around in this sort of small hut. There's a single table with about 3 chairs next to it, and a fire in the far corner. And he begins to stoke that, puts a kettle over it as he begins to make some tea. So sit, please. It's a small place. I'm not here very often, but make yourselves comfortable as much as you wish.
Thank you.
So, I guess what brings you here? Simply to catch up? Usually when you come to visit me, you need something.
I catch up, chat, ask about things. I'm sure you've heard plenty in your travels.
Well, what specifically, or do you wish to just listen to the ramblings of an old Tabaxi?
Let's get the important stuff out the way. Heard of any disappearances?
There was. I had rumors of children going missing near Waterroot when I was there last. I do not know the cause, but they were having some trouble in that region.
That was just an Oni, nothing to worry about.
Oh, Did you slay the creature yourself?
Not myself. My friend got the killing blow on it.
Well, it's good to know. Well, I'm sure you've done their village a great service then. Otherwise, no, nothing out of the ordinary.
Fair enough. One other thing, I've been hearing rumors about something called the Singing Stone Archives. Ever heard of them?
No, I can't say so.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, we're here on behalf of the Yvrandalian delegation.
Oh, really? How's that coming?
It's alright. We have no idea what they're planning so far, but it doesn't seem to be too brilliant. The counselors weren't really impressed. Those from Undolkir are already here and making a very good impression.
I had heard that another delegation had made it to the city. I have to say that I'm delighted at the idea that outsiders are interested in doing trade. The more strangers and travelers we have coming through, the better for our city.
Is that so you can line your pockets better?
Well, you know me. I have been interested in this gold that they trade in. It's become quite useful as I've had dealings with them. I hope to bring some of it here.
It's definitely lighter than carrying around that old cart.
It is. We'll see what we can do. But I know not all of us are, not all of our brothers and sisters here are interested in what these delegates and strangers have to say, but I've been doing my part to try to sell them on it a little. You know I can be very persuasive.
Oh, I know. Besides, have you seen my mother recently?
I was traveling through Sharpthorn about a month past. She was doing well. Quiet little hamlet as always. Nothing too out of the ordinary there. She misses you.
I hopefully I'll be able to get back soon. I just have official business to take care of.
She understands. Well, we all do. You're doing great things.
So you mentioned earlier the ramblings of an old man. I'm sure we have time to sit, listen, find things out.
Of course. Well, if you aren't in any rush, I had nowhere to be for a few hours. So let's chat a while. And he goes over and begins to get the kettle and brings out some sort of small wooden cups and places them in front of each of you that wishes to have some tea, and begins to pour as he chats and tells you a bit about his travels and brings up maybe some old stories of Star from his childhood and sort of reminisces a bit with all of you. So as that's going on and you guys are sort of having this conversation, this meeting, Den and Lucius, Den and Sato, sorry, the two of you make your way to a different area of the city, near the base of the Golden Square, where there is a large sort of fountain, this natural fountain that has had stone placed over it to contain a sort of well in the center of the city. And it's there that there's a small shrine to Lelaboth, placed at the foot of the mountain, or the fountain. There are some offerings there and a few Tabaxi sort of mulling about. All in all, it's a very quiet area.
Hey, Sadell.
Yes.
You, know a lot about magical stuff, things, you make things, right?
Yeah.
I want to show you this little thing that I have. It's like a little statue kind of thing. I think it's magical, I'm not really sure. Could you just tell me if you've ever seen anything like this before?
I'd be glad to.
I'll go into my bag, some pocket somewhere, and pull out the little like idol that I have. I'm just gonna be like, have you ever seen anything like this?
Are you just gonna smile at me like that?
Yeah.
Are you just looking at it? Or are you gonna try to identify it?
No, I'm gonna. Well, I'm assuming I've seen small idols such as that, but like.
Yeah. I mean, what she takes out is a small sort of dark wooden idol that depicts a multi-tentacled kind of strange creature that I think with your intelligence and sort of worldliness, you would identify as a idol representing a kraken.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, if Den would let me hold it, then I would try and identify if it's magical or, you know, if there's a spell on it or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, you can certainly do that. Just get something pulled up here. So you sit down with the idol in front of you and sort of flip it over in your hands. As you're holding it and sort of concentrating on it, you do hear this slight sort of whispering coming from it. This very faint, just ghostly whisper. It almost sounds like a breeze at first, but like pieces of a conversation almost, just being picked up, but too muffled, like you're hearing through a door. You concentrate, and Den, you watch as his eyes kind of glaze over, begin to glow a bit as he holds this in his hand. Sadel, you sort of recoil from it a bit. It definitely has some sort of magical presence to it. From your identification of it, whatever it is it's broken. The enchantment of it is not fully functional. But your kind of impression of it is that it's some sort of device used for like communication. And you also realize through your identification of it that at the heart of this item and part of its magical power comes to the fact that there is a piece of a kraken within it, that this idol has been like constructed around. And you get the impression that this was either made to worship one of these beings of like ferocious power, or for worshippers to communicate amongst themselves or with the creature itself, to offer their prayers to it. However, the actual enchantment is malfunctioning and it's no longer fully usable.
Could it be fixed? Do I know that?
Maybe. It might take some time, and you might have to find some resources to do it. It's pretty complex magic. But with enough time and the right resources, yeah, you could probably fix it.
Okay. And I do know someone who is, what they do is magic. So I could probably take it to them and...
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Do you know anything about this, Dan?
About the little thing, or about the kraken? Like in general?
Both. You know, what do you know about this?
Well, I know a lot about the Kraken. I mean, they're sort of the whole reason that my people came to this plane in the first place.
Right.
The idol, I sort of found it. It's kind of a long story, but so my god, right, is a god of like the sea and storms and stuff like that.
Right.
And long story really short, I like helped build a little like shrine temple to her somewhere very far away where there are like pirates and sailors and stuff. And nobody but me really visited it for like a really long time, but then one day this person showed up, which was great because I think people should pray to my god because she's awesome. And they didn't say anything, they just sort of sat there for a while and I guess prayed, I don't know. And they took out that and set it on the like altar to Seraphine, that's my god, and they left. And so I went over to see what it was, and it I don't know, it sort of called me in like a weird way, and I just felt like maybe it was a good thing, so I took it. And now I keep it. But I'm still kind of trying to figure out why I have it.
Well, hopefully I'll be able to shed some light on why you have it. Now, I've seen idols like this before, but nothing quite as magical. This idol was constructed around a piece of a kraken. So at its core, at its heart, there is a kraken. Part of it, anyway.
In there.
Yes.
There's a real kraken in the tiny one.
Yes. And that's part of where this magic is coming from, because I don't know, I can hear whispering coming from it, but I can't really understand what it's saying. It's disjointed.
You heard,
so
I start whispering. You heard it whispering too?
Yes.
Yeah, it does that sometimes.
Well, that's because this is used as a tool of communication.
With the kraken?
It could be, yes. But also could be used for communication between other followers.
Of the kraken?
Yes.
You telling me people follow a kraken?
Pretty much.
That's bad. I thought maybe it was a good thing. So is the whispering like someone trying to talk through it?
Someone or something, I'm not sure. But since it's broken, which is why I can't understand anything it's saying. But with a little time and the right resources, I might be able to get it fixed for you.
Kraken's really bad. Like, really bad. Like, my people came here so we could get rid of them. So is the whispering... That's probably someone out there right now who's, like, worshipping a really bad thing.
Perhaps. I don't know. I really don't know much about Kraken. But, I mean, they may not necessarily be worshipping it. They might just I don't really know until if we can get it fixed. Might be able to find out what's going on.
Do you think we should fix it?
I don't see the harm in trying.
Because right now I just kind of want to smash it.
Well, we could always smash it, but I would at least like to see. You know, like the idol itself couldn't cause any harm. You know, maybe it's just someone else who stumbled on another idol like this and is trying to communicate with it. You know, maybe they aren't this evil person worshiping this evil kraken.
Okay.
So, I'd be glad to work on it, but if you'd rather get rid of it, I understand.
No, I think you're right. I think we should figure it out. Because if it's just a nice person, then that's fine and we can make a new friend. And if it's a bad person or there's like an actual kraken involved, then we should probably tell somebody.
Yeah.
My people would want to know about that. You're so smart. This is why I talk to you about stuff.
Well, thank you, Dan. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, you do.
I'm just glad that you guys are finding any use for me out here.
Well, you just do so much good stuff. So if you ever need me to do, I don't know, help you with stuff, then I'm very strong. I can pick things up, hold things while you fix them.
I actually have been working on something. Now, I don't want to give it away yet, but I will need your help.
Really?
Yeah, I'm putting something together, and I think you'll enjoy it.
All right.
But you have to promise to keep it a secret,
I won't
because
tell
I
anyone.
want it to be a surprise.
I won't tell anyone. Thanks.
I'll actually like reach into the bag of holding and pull out like some metal, and there's like gears attached to it. Like I'm in the middle of making some sort of contraption, but like can't tell what it is yet because it's still just a piece.
Yeah.
And kind of give her a little nudge and put it back in the bag of holding.
Well, that looks fancy. All right, I'll help.
Yeah, I'll if you don't mind, a couple late nights maybe. Put it together soon. I don't know when, but soon, hopefully.
All right. Thanks, Sado.
You're very welcome,
Give him
Dan.
a
Thank you.
hug like this.
Oh God! Oh yes. Thank you, Dan.
All right. I'm gonna sit for a while.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'll leave you to it.
All right. So you sit and pray. Then, Sado, you're just gonna kind of wander around, get familiar with the city. Or what did you want to do?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to explore, check out the shops. Not really anything specific, but just kind of get a feel for the people.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you wander around, kind of to get an idea, because you're still looking at maybe expanding out this direction for your business. As you wander around, the Tabaxi don't really have like shops per se, not like what you're used to, where you're from. They have like market areas where they trade with one another. You know, the farmers that grow surplus of crops trade with other people that have surpluses, and kind of there's this like communal aspect to the civilization. And you get a better feel of that moving around. I'm not saying that they might not, looking around, there might not be a place for a business like yours, but there might be some, from your observations, there might be some small hurdles to overcome. Most of your business is done in gold, and they don't really deal in gold here, but you never know. But you get an idea of the city and its people, and you definitely have that in your back pocket as you go forward.
Cool.
So you all are sort of doing your own things. Dan, you sit and pray for a while. I assume just normal prayers. If you're doing anything special.
I'm real shaken up about this idol thing.
Okay. Good.
Just, I do my normal prayers, and then I just kind of sit and think on it about what. I still kind of want to smash it, but I'm not going to. I just kind of sit and think on like what Zadel said, and about like maybe why it's a good idea to get it fixed. And then I'll just pray for guidance, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Guidance about that.
So you sit and you pray for a little while. Just make a religion check.
Religion. 9.
Okay. You don't get any messages from the heavens or anything, but you do kind of get a sense of calm, and feel a little more at ease after sitting there and praying for a little while, like maybe something can come of this. All right. So the rest of you over at Bird's Place have a pleasant couple of hours, sitting and chatting and having some tea and reminiscing. Eventually, after kind of finishing a story, Bird kind of looks around, says, looks out the window, says, it's probably good for me to get going. I do have some business to deal with today. It's been a pleasure seeing you again, Star, though.
Of course, it was nice to be able to sit and catch up. Oh, one other thing.
Sure.
Have you heard anything about this? And I pull down the bandana tied to my arm just to show the thing.
He looks at it.
He would have known about it anyway. It's just...
Oh, yeah. He looks at it and kind of gives a nod and says, I haven't found out anything else. I don't really understand its meaning. I spoke with your mother about it. I don't know. I haven't seen anyone else with a marking like it.
We may be onto a lead. We're about to head towards the city of Crawling Mists.
But be careful. And when you get back, we'll talk some more.
Of course, and since when have you ever known me to do anything stupid?
I know you too well, and that's why I tell you to be careful. It's been good to see you, boy.
It was nice seeing you too.
All right. And he kind of looks back towards the rest of you as you're finishing your tea and says, and it was a pleasure to meet you as well. It's good to see that Star has made good friends. But
Thank you for the hospitality. It was very nice listening to your stories.
well, thank you. I'm glad that there are others that can enjoy my ramblings. But if you need anything as well, any of you, let me know. I can get things done in the city.
I have a random question. Is that the first time we've ever seen the mark on Star?
Did you let them see it, or you didn't?
I let them see it, yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't exactly sort of a real hidden thing. It was just pull the thing down quickly, back up.
Yeah. Do you want to describe what it looked like? Since I don't think it's.
Yes. The outline of it is a black circle. Inside the circle is what looks to be a bit of Star's fur that has been dyed. So the dyed bit takes up most of the circle, and where his fur is, you can still see what looks to be a crescent shape.
Does it look like Lilith's moon, or?
I mean, it looks like I mean, it's similar. There's similarities. I mean, just it's sort of general.
Okay.
But yeah. But he kind of escorts you out and closes the door behind as you enter into the courtyard. After it's about midday at this point, and he gives a farewell and embraces you again, Star, and says farewell to the rest of you, and waves as he grabs his cart and begins to wheel it down the dirt road, following the wall to the outskirts of the city. So, are you guys all going to meet up with each other again?
Back to the hotel room, I guess. Well, the room we were given, rather.
Yeah.
Okay. You all head back to the rooms, each of you in your own time. I'd say Dan and Sato, you probably make it back there a bit earlier, given you didn't take you as much time to do your prayers and wander around the city. When you make it back shortly after, there is a knock at the door, and you let the prince back in as well. And then shortly after them, after he arrives, your companions arrive too. So you're all back in the your chambers again.
So, we doing this?
Now's as good a time as any, I guess.
Don't have many other options. If we can get back within a day, I guess that would be for the best. So we've been seeing around the city today. That's the important thing.
What are we looking for when we go? Anybody got any idea?
The prince says, as he sort of materializes there, he says, the best way I can describe it, anything weird, any sort of distortion. Are any of you familiar with arcane energies, arcane magics?
I've dabbled and studied.
I'm pretty familiar.
You should be able to recognize the signs if there is a tear or some sort of influence from another plane. You should be able to tell. Hopefully I can get you close enough and I might be able to travel with you a bit, but we're just going to have to see about that. So, are we ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
No, I can only do this twice per day. I will teleport there. If it looks like it might take some time, I will teleport back so I can be seen here without you. So it doesn't grow suspicious if you're gone as well, or if we're both gone at the same time. If we judge that it is going to take more time, well, I guess we'll speak on that. Let's see how this works first, and then we'll talk on that after. So, I guess everybody gather close then. Sort of brings you all in. He begins to concentrate, muttering under his breath some incantations, tracing his fingers through the air, leaving runes of and markings of arcane energy kind of drifting in the air around him. As he finishes, he claps his hands together, and there is sort of this warbling in the air, and then this expansion of this reddish energy that expands and encompasses all of you, including the prince. And then you feel yourselves being pulled forward with this like clap of thunder around you. And I will make a roll here. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so there's this explosion of energy. You all feel yourselves being rocked by this wave of energy, supposed to propel you through somewhere. Something. Your eyes go dark. You can't really hear anything except the rushing of what feels like wind around you. There is a similar explosion, and you all find yourselves suddenly falling. As you look around, you hit tree branches. You feel the rushing of these branches like catch the side of you. Some of you go tumbling and spinning before boom, hitting the ground. Your fall wasn't too hard where you take any damage. You're a bit sore after it. You kind of begin to pull yourselves up, and you find yourselves all standing around in the jungle again. Trees all around you as far as you can see. There's a river running through, and you actually see some floundering in the river as the prince pulls himself out of the water, sort of shaking himself off, kind of, damn it. Well, that didn't go as well as I would thought it would.
Was that the plan?
No. Well, maybe. It depends on where we are. It looks like jungle, so that's good. I was worried that we might end up in Ondakir, or hell, we could have ended up far in the north, like fallen into a pit of snow. Oh, well, we're alive though. That's good.
I suppose it's for the best. I'm going to work out the direction we need to travel in, and I'm just going to climb up the nearest tree to see what's around us. Hopefully see the ruin in the distance as well.
Okay. You climb up to the tops of the trees, which are fairly tall, but you do it without too much effort, swinging from branch to branch and then using your claws to climb up some of the thicker areas of the trunk. Eventually you pull yourself through the canopy and begin looking around. Luckily, you sort of breathe a sigh of relief as you look and you realize you are in about the right region. You look to kind of the south and you see a large lake that the shape of it you identify as the Nest of the Sea, or sort of in the southwest or southeast. However, as you peer over to the west of where you are, you do see far, far in the distance a kind of cluster of ridges and hills upon which sits a dark sort of landscape with this kind of cloud hanging over it. Something that you've glimpsed once in your travels or twice, the city of Crawling Mists. However, based on your distance right now, or the way you gauge it, you're probably about 3 days travel from the city.
I climb down and deliver that news.
Okay. As you do, the prince. Shit. Well, 3 days travel is better than being on the other side of the planet, so that's good. Is that all right with all of you?
What was the timeline on the delegation getting there?
We've got about 2 weeks, a week or two, I believe.
Yeah.
Won't we... Sorry, voice. Won't we be missed, or... I mean, we kind of attract curious looks and stuff, and if we aren't seen, won't that be weird?
Well, I mean, who's looking for us, really?
You aren't actually the delegation itself, so I don't believe there should be too much problem with that.
You need to go back, though.
I do, because the UNT, the ambassador, will definitely suspect something if I'm gone.
If anyone asks, you saw us on our way out for a quick camping trip.
All right. I should be able to teleport back to the city without too much problem. It was just getting here that I was worried about. I don't know how much time you'll need to get there, but what I will do is I can, every evening as the sun sets, I can check in on you and make sure see when you're ready to leave. As soon as you give me the okay, I will teleport to you and bring you back. Does
Very
that sound
well.
fair?
So you'll be able to pinpoint us better than this first shot?
Maybe. We're going to have to see. I'm a little more familiar with this area now, so we'll see.
Okay.
Is there like, can we do something to make it easier for you to find us? Or is it you're just gonna guess every time? I would just hate for you to like fall off a mountain or something.
Unless any of you have the ability to send me images of the place that I can study. Otherwise, I don't think so.
It's gotta be a place, can't be like a person. Like if I give you something of mine, could you like find me better?
That could help. It might also help if you, when I speak with you, give me a full description of the place you are, what it looks like. That might help more. Like I said, I had no idea of what this place even looked like. So once you're there, when I send you the message, if you can try to convey to me the best possible what you see, it'll help a little.
All right, we can do that.
All right. Okay. Good luck then. Do you need anything else before I go?
Don't think so.
I think we're all good.
All right. I'll check what I say. He does kind of take out a book to his side, flip through it a bit, closes it, and oh no, that won't last long enough. Okay. He kind of sighs and says, all right, well, that's the best I can do for now. Best of luck. I'll check in every day. All right. He concentrates for a moment, does the same, sort of glyphs through the air, and you see that same bubble form and then collapse, the prince disappearing along with it.
Hope he didn't just die.
I hope we're not stuck here. This place kind of gives me a little bit of creeps.
Yeah. Well, it would take a long time, but we could walk back.
Ugh.
I suppose we really should just get on walking.
Alright. We'll follow you.
I make my way there. Or start walking in that direction.
All right. So you begin to head in the direction, the kind of eastern direction that you saw the city to begin with. And you all begin to travel that way. As you move that direction, the terrain kind of slopes downward, and after about a day's travel, the terrain becomes a bit more saturated. It seems as though this area, and you'd be vaguely familiar with this star, that there's sort of a marshland around here. It's not terribly bad, but it makes it a little bit hard for you guys as you move through. full day passes of travel without any real event. Eventually you find a relatively dry place to camp for the evening, to recoup as you all rest up, regaining spell slots and anything that you guys might have expended the day before. The sun rises the next day. Oh, sorry. Sarah, was there something?
I'm just doing that.
Okay.
I'm fidgeting.
Okay, I thought you were waving at me. The sun rises the next day, and you begin to move further towards the city. As the second day passes, though, you get about later in the afternoon, almost into the evening. The sun begins to set to the west, casting long shadows with the trees over the marshlands. You begin to hear something. Most of you, I'll have everybody make perception checks.
I got a 13.
9.
15.
18.
Natural 1.
What's that put you at total?
2.
2. Nice. So
We are in a place.
We are in the jungle. I
So
see
you're
it's free.
You're
There are
just focused on your some ideas you got rolling around in your head.
Oh, geez, you guys are here? Wow, I didn't even see you. I thought it was just me.
However, Star and Barb, you catch on this a bit faster than anyone else. You hear something coming through the jungle behind you as you're moving through the marshlands. You hear this kind of very loud kind of noise that is moving pretty quickly in your direction. Anything you guys wish to do to react?
Just put my hand up, point backwards, just say, there's something coming.
I would like to rushing gun into my rage, please.
Okay. You begin to kind of go into your rage as you turn around, and you all see 3 very large figures come bursting through the tree line. One of them actually pushes over a half-rotted tree as it moves through. You see 3 ogres come bursting through the trees. One of them, much larger than the others, kind of pushing his way through the path. Another one off to the side, kind of with one eye that looks kind of scarred and halfway closed, carrying this massive spiked great club. And the other one, you hear this kind of muffled tin can sounding breathing coming through it as it's wearing this chain wrapped iron helm on its head. All 3 of them kind of push through. The big one kind of stops. It looks back towards the others in the group, and you hear it as Barb goes into her rage. You hear it call out in common. It's like, "Are these the ones?" And you hear a very echoed kind of sounding voice says, "I can't tell." The one with the club kind of gets a bit closer and says, "Aye, those are them. Kill them." And they come rushing in towards you. And I'm going to need everyone to roll for initiative.
Who the fuck are these ogres? Oh, I need to click my thing.
Okay. Wow. Ogres roll pretty well on initiative for ogres. Okay, then I'll bring the initiative tracker. Oh, I forgot I did this. Delete all those. Okay. Oh,
Okay.
and I need to roll for Lucius, don't I?
I forgot to click my token the first time.
That's
So
fine. Just change it on there. You're fine. And just don't go first, Lucius.
Hey, Sean.
Yeah.
Because I've made myself a note to remember this. Is there any direct sunlight near me? Or am I in direct sunlight?
Right now, with the sun setting, I'll say yes. There is enough sunlight that you are okay right now.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, so I think that'll be everyone on the tracker. So, Den, you're first.
Oh man. Which one is the biggest one?
That's gonna be the one in the all the way on your left here.
The red.
The red.
Okay. Let's go for that one then. I will use my... I will... Guiding Bolt that one.
Okay. Go to make your attack.
Oh gosh. Oh, that's a 9.
That will unfortunately miss. As you concentrate, form up this ball of radiant energy and hurl it in the direction of the largest ogre. It slams into one of the branches of the trees next to it, kind of blasting it off into the muck behind him. The ogre looks to it kind of and focuses over in your direction.
Good. I just want to move up, not right next to Barb, but just kind of
Okay.
equal with her. So
All right.
kind of in between these two and my buddies.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it. All right. So, Barb, as you know.
Alrighty then. Obviously I'm going to do what I do best, and I'm going to run at something and kill it. So I think I'm gonna go with that red guy. Right here.
Okay. So you're also going for the largest one there.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Indeed, sir. I would like to rage great weapon mastery my great loot. And I do not have it. Yeah, I do. I do have advantage, right?
If you're doing a reckless attack, which
Yeah,
means
that's
they'll
what I
have advantage against you. Yeah,
I forget that every time. I don't know why.
that's okay.
So for an 18,
That'll hit.
yes, and 18 slashing damage.
Nice. Okay, so you rush in first, bring out your great loot with a battle cry. You slam it into the side of this ogre. It catches the leathers, but makes a solid impact, tearing across its kind of bulbous flesh. The ogre lets out a cry of pain as its blood spills out on the ground. Looks down at you, to significant blow to it, and now turns his attention away from Den down at the tiny creature in front of it, and kind of lets out this exasperated and angry grunt at you.
Okay. I would also like to do my radiant damage.
Okay, so you're doing your full-on
Yeah.
radiant. Okay. So that will be additional damage for you. Go ahead and roll that, or whatever that is.
6.
6. Nice. All right. And then as you stand there, there's this flash of radiant energy as you let out another battle cry, and it sears the side of this ogre, kind of covers his eye as the burn marks appear underneath its forearm. Whoa! All right. That will end your turn. Lilibet.
Okay. Well,
I'm gonna do something stupid, probably, but that's fine. I am going to run up to the gentleman in green.
Okay, so the one with the big helm on its head.
Okay. And I am gonna go ahead and two-handed warhammer him. And then hopefully. So that's a 21 to hit.
That hits.
And that's 11 damage.
Okay.
And then I'm 90% sure this is a bonus action, but I'm sorry, let me double check one thing. Where is it? Where's she? There we go. Shield of Faith. Yeah, and then I'm going to go ahead and cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay.
And because I'm over here by myself. And so that puts my armor class at 19, and that's what I'm going to do.
All right, as you slam your warhammer two-handed into the side of this ogre, you can see the kind of ripples and the crack of bone as it slams into the side of sort of near his thigh. The ogre stumbles a bit and growls down your direction. Again, that muffled growl. You can't really see his eyes through the narrow slits of the helm. As you finish your turn there, you concentrate, and there's this radiant energy that begins to form around your armor, protecting you further. That'll put it to Lucius's turn. Lucius is going to use his action to form his vapor puppet. As he concentrates on the wristband he has, the smoke curls off of it, forming the familiar outline of the dark shadow figure. I will put it right here. It's bigger than that. He is then going to use his bonus action to command it to move. So it's going to move 30 feet up to the large ogre with a spiked great club there. Kind of fly in that direction, and it's going to take one solid strike with its smoky fist. That is, however, going to miss the ogre. So as it swings at it, it kind of hits the side of its flesh and then just dissipates into a cloud of smoke, recoils, the fist reforming. However, no damage. Sato.
Well, I'm gonna take out my rifle, and I am going to shoot at the one, the blue one with the vapor puppet went to.
Okay.
A 26.
26 hits.
15 piercing and 4 thunder damage.
All right. So 19 damage total. All right, so as the you fire, there's an explosion of energy that makes everyone kind of jump a bit. A cloud of smoke bursts off the end of your gun and slams. There's like another crack as the bullet slams into the side of this ogre, almost causing it to spin. Blood kind of scattered across the ground. The ogre, still holding the great club in one hand, kind of looks down and seems very frustrated and confused by where that came from. It kind of looks down at the smoke creature next to it in an accusatory way. All right, that'll put it to Star's turn.
Okay, I'm gonna run up to this one that Lilbet is currently smacking about. Yeah, that cost me my 30, and I am going to just dagger straight into its gut or whatever other soft bits I can reach.
Okay.
So, sneaky dagger. Nat 20.
Ooh. Nice.
I like being a rogue. So, oh fuck. That's 18 damage.
Nice. Can you guys hear the thunder through my mic?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, my rifle's it's really loud. Sorry, guys.
that echo, man. It takes a while to come on back, but when it does.
All right. You kind of slide through the dirt, kind of coming around some of the underbrush, coming up on the blind side of this ogre. You leap up and stab down into the kind of right in the kidney of this large giant folk and drag the blade down, causing blood to spill out. The ogre reaches around towards its back, but you're already off of it, and crying out in pain. This one, starting to look rough.
And I am digging my dagger straight into that nice, soft, organy bit I just made.
Okay.
21 to hit.
That hits too.
That one is 2 more points of damage.
Okay, and then you go and just shank him again in the side. The ogre kind of bats you away a bit, but is like I said, significantly wounded by the combo attack of Lil and Star. And that will put it to their turns. The largest ogre with Barb going first, looking down at her after you just got this solid hit on it. He rears back and is going to make an attack with advantage on you because you reckless attacked with his great club, which is going to hit with a 25 like lightning. So it hits, and that's going to be 18 points of bludgeoning damage reduced to 9 because you are raging. The other ogre, the one with the spiked great club, actually is going to swing around, thinking that the strike came from the vapor puppet, the shot from the saddle. Swings around towards the vapor puppet and is going to take a strike at it. That was not with advantage, so that is a 15, which is actually going to miss. Swings around towards the vapor puppet, which nimbly dodges out of the way. The great club whoosh, passing overhead, just catching a bit of smoke in the trail of it. The last one is going to wheel around, feeling this pain coming from behind it. Wheels around towards you, Star. It's great club. That is going to be a...
I was expecting a crit and an insta-kill, I won't lie.
No. Well, I was still accidentally rolling with advantage. If it had advantage, it would have crit. It did not, however. So that is going to, I think, hit you with a 17.
That does hit, I believe, yeah.
Okay. It's going to be 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ouch. Okay.
But that is all they've got this turn. Den, back to you.
Okay. Guiding Bolt didn't work. Let's change it up. I'll use my bonus action to conjure my spiritual weapon. The big warhammer. Like right up next to this guy over here, the blue one, like right up next to his head, and just like smack him in the head.
Okay. We'll put that just right here next to the vapor puppet. All right. The spiritual weapon wheels around, and what did you roll?
22.
The 22 that hits, wheels around, smacks the ogre in the head. This one, unfortunately, not wearing a helmet.
Aha. 7 force damage.
7 damage. There's a crack as this the spiritual weapon hits. The ogre is sent reeling from it. Just go. It looks at the spiritual weapon now. Looks at the vapor puppet. It's now squaring off against 2 mighty adversaries in front of it.
Okay, then I want to, while he's distracted by that, I want to run up on his other side and take my warhammer and just crack him right in the knee.
Okay.
Like, right there, yeah.
All right. So you kind of slosh through the stream in front of you towards this ogre, bringing up your weapon.
23.
23 hits.
4 bludgeoning damage.
4 damage. All right. And then you wheel around, hitting the ogre in the back of the leg. It bends forward a bit. landing on its arms and knees in the muck, pulling himself back up. Turns around towards you, just small creatures.
Yeah, you're not so tall now, huh?
He's definitely irritated.
Good.
All right.
So am I.
Barb, it is your turn now.
All right. More of the same. For 20,
20 hits.
because I am killing it.
You are.
And 29 slashing. What up? What up? What up?
Roll your
Come at me,
radiant.
bro.
Roll your radiant damage too.
He has a family.
Fuck your family.
And she just created more parts of him for the family to love.
Oh my god. Okay, so a flash of radiant energy as your great axe slams into the side of the ogre and then just carves through it, through its large kind of bulbous gut there. As it finishes through, kind of sloshes forward, there's gut spilling out onto the ground. There's another flash of radiant energy which sears the outside of his flesh in this mask of pain, and then falls over the ground, dead. So dead. As the largest ogre falls, the other two look over towards it, kind of with this look of fear on their faces, seeing this one just thoroughly thrashed in 12 seconds. All right. Well done. That will put it towards Lilibet's turn.
Okay. I am going to do what I do best, which is two-handed Warhammer. Let's do this.
Okay.
If it likes me. Oh, I got a 10.
10 will unfortunately miss. Even this large creature, as you wheel around with your Warhammer again, kind of throws its arm down and actually smacks your hand out of the air as your Warhammer then just embeds in the muck, and you spend the rest of your turn kind of pulling it out of the ground there. Anything else you'd like to do with your bonus action or movement?
I stamp my foot because I'm mad at myself because I missed him. Gosh darn it! And then that's my turn.
You stamp your foot and it kind of sinks into the muck. You kind of have to pull that out too. Lucius's turn. You can use his bonus action out of the Vapor Puppet attack again. Vapor Puppet hits for 9 bludgeoning damage. And then he is going to just throw a rending at it from a nice, safe distance. 14, which also hits for 3 slashing damage. As he then conjures up, kind of whips out with those soul threads, lashing at the side of this ogre, rending open a large wound in its side. That ogre is looking rough as well, as they both are. Sado.
I'm gonna shoot it again. Surprise, surprise. 25.
25 hits.
For 11 piercing and 3 thunder.
This is the same ogre as before, the blue ogre?
Yeah.
Okay, so 14 points total. Another bullet kind of strikes that ogre in the shoulder. It staggers backwards, looking at all the creatures around it, just kind of as he is beginning to waver and looking like he's about to go down. This intense look of fear on this ogre's face, seeing his soon demise. Well done. Okay. That it for your turn, Sado?
Yep.
Okay. Star.
I'm just going for the stabby again.
Okay, stabby away.
Stabby, 14?
14 hits.
Yay! So, altogether that is Math, yay. 14 damage.
14 damage, nice. And bonus action?
Bonus action, if it's still standing, just another stab.
Okay, go for it.
A 12?
Hits.
Sweet. For 1.
Okay, you take both daggers and sink them in the side again, tearing 2 more wounds across the ogre. It's wavering and it's rough, but it's still standing as you hear this heavy breathing coming from the inside of this helmet. It's also looking very rough and very frightened.
Just when my turn, I'm just going to shout out, try to keep one of them alive.
Okay. So you all hear Star shout this as the ogres begin their retaliation. The big ogre surrounded by the vapor puppet, the hammer, and the strange woman coming up behind it is going to roll a d3 to see which one it's smart enough to take a swing at. Let's see. I'll make one you done. Nope. It's going to swing at the vapor puppet again. So it rears back and takes a mighty swing in that direction. This one connecting the 25. Vapor puppet only has 20 hit points. All right. Vapor puppet's still up. Vapor Puppet's not looking too good, but Vapor Puppet's still up as it gets slammed into by this spiked great club. Spikes don't really have any additional effect against smoke, but you see kind of it's diminished in size and is definitely sort of flickering and wavering there. The ogre looks confused, as it has this entire time. The other one by Star and Lilibet is going to instead, as it swung at Star and hit him, now swing over at Lilibet. I think with all your bonuses, a 17 is going to miss now.
Yes! I have 19 AC right now.
Okay. So it swings down at you with its great club, kind of peering out from under the helmet. It connects, but you holding up your warhammer in both hands, and the radiance around you of the spirit shield of faith, you deflect the blow and then throw the great club to the side. It embeds in the muck, and the ogre, still looking frightened, starts to back away. But that is going to end their turn. Den, on you now.
All right. I will go ahead and use my bonus action to swing my spiritual weapon at it again. And is he on the ground still?
No, he got
up. Okay.
That was just flavor.
Darn. Okay, so I'll swing my spiritual weapon like right into his ear, like the side of his head.
Okay.
14?
Hits.
6 force damage.
All right. That will be enough. And are you trying to kill this one?
Yeah.
Okay. As the spiritual weapon smacks this ogre in the side of the head, its eyes go wide for a second, kind of doosh, and just falls straight backwards into the muck, sending up a splattering of mud, which sort of cakes the outside of your armor. But is that ogre is just out of it, gone.
Yeah.
Checked out.
All right. So that's my bonus action.
Okay.
I will then run over to the other one. That's my 30 feet. And kind of get like behind it a little bit. Does he look really bad?
He's looking rough.
Okay, I want to swing my warhammer at like the back of his legs. I just want to try to like cripple him, like knock him over.
Okay.
If I can hit him. I don't want to kill him.
Yeah, go ahead and make an attack.
Star was yelling about not killing people. Well, it doesn't matter because I rolled an 8.
The 8 misses as he's kind of staggering backwards. You swing at the leg, but as he's stumbling, kind of twists to the side, and you just whoosh, hit nothing but air.
All right, that's it.
Okay. Barb, it's your turn now.
Alrighty then. Oh, jeez. I have. Oh, that's. Okay. It's very far. I think that's as far as I can go, isn't it?
Yeah, with 30 feet.
Yeah. Turds. Can I throw something at it?
Do you have any ranged weaponry?
Do oatcakes count?
Yes.
I want you to throw an oatcake into it now.
I mean, you can throw
throwing oatcakes and insulting it.
you can throw an oatcake. It might have some effect. You don't know what. You don't imagine it'll do a lot of damage, but it might distract it.
All right, cool. I throw one oatcake.
Okay, just make an attack. Just your strength plus your proficiency bonus.
Okay. Just do like a I don't know, like a strength saving throw or something.
Do you have proficiency in athletics?
Yes I do.
Okay, just roll an athletics check then. Yeah. You don't have advantage. Or well, no, it's an attack. So if you want to do it recklessly, you can do that.
13.
Okay. 13. That is enough to hit it. The
Roll 1d0 damage.
no
Do I
damage.
hit his eye or something.
I'll give you this though. Something like that. You take the oatcake, kind of aim for a second as you're rushing forward in this rage, kind of whoosh, you throw the oatcake kind of through the air. It just clips the edge of the helmet, and as it clips the edge of the helmet, does enough just to turn the helmet sideways. The ogre now kind of
Oh man, did I knock him? Did I make him like? Did he lose his advantage or something?
well, he's considered blinded at this point.
Sweet.
So we'll get to that, but he is now, the ogre is blinded, kind of feeling around, looking for something around as the oatcake is just like kinked the helmet just enough that he can't see.
I love D&D.
All right. Good turn for Barb there. Lilibet is on you as this now blinded ogre in front of you.
Okay, here's what I would like to do. I would like to take my warhammer and basically, because he's blinded, like sweep the legs with my warhammer to knock
Okay.
him down.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah. Go ahead and make an attack with advantage.
Okay. Yay! I have advantage. Let's do this. Oh wait, I don't need that with this. So let's. Oh God, that's an 11.
11 just hits.
Yes! Yay! Okay. So that's 11 points of damage, but I'm not really like I'm just trying to knock him down. Like I don't want to hurt him.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
dog.
So you're
Yeah.
going for non-lethal damage
Yes.
there. So as he's kind of you rush beside it, take your warhammer two-handed, and then just wail into the side of his legs. You hear a crack. Might have broken the leg, but you're not sure. Sweeping through his legs, the ogre falls back onto the ground, landing on the on some of the dry land there. His helmet striking a rock towards the behind him, and there's just silence. You still hear breathing, but the ogre is most definitely unconscious.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah. That's what you wanted, right, Star? I didn't kill him.
I heard
This
him.
will do nicely. Barb, would you mind Barb and Den, would you mind just holding his arms down quickly?
Sure.
Yeah.
And pull his helmet off. And if someone wouldn't mind trying to wake him up.
I walk over and I slap him and give him 2 points of lay on hands.
Okay, so so as the ogre is lying there, Den and Barb, you both go over and kind of pin each one of you one of the arms to the ground. The Star, you wrench the helmet off the ogre's head. You can see some blood kind of running from the back of its head at this point, and Lilibet, you walk over and then slap the front of its face, giving the lay on hands at that point. Very slowly, the ogre.
I'm sure you can understand me, right? So, first thing I would like to know is, who sent you after us?
Seems reluctant to say anything.
I have my dagger hovering right over his eye. And I just say, I suggest you start being cooperative.
Go to make an intimidation check with advantage.
Oh, with advantage. Roll. 7.
7. The ogre seems largely unfazed by your threat.
Can I walk over? Sorry, can I walk over and where Star split open with that really amazing dagger hit? Can I just stick my foot in there and wiggle my foot around and say, "Tell us what you have to know, what you know"?
Oh
God. Yeah. Kind of kick into the wound there. The ogre lets out kind of. I'm actually gonna need both. Barb and Den. I need you both to make athletics checks to hold down his arms at this point.
Sorry, guys.
18.
You said athletics?
Yeah.
Normal or no?
Normal, yeah. Just your first roll.
25.
All right, 25. The ogre's gonna make strength check as well. Okay, not good enough. The ogre kind of pulls against the two of you. Mother.
Mother?
Mother sent us.
Why did Mother send you?
You're bad.
Why does Mother think we're bad?
Kill her favorite.
Oh. Okay. Well, your favorite was causing us some trouble, so we just did what was even there. Don't worry, we'll leave you alive. You can go back to Mother, and I'm sure she'll kiss you better. Come on, everyone. Come on, everyone. Let go. We'll let him go off and go see Mother.
Okay. Do you guys let go?
I let go, but before I let go, I cast Calm Emotions.
Okay.
I've had this spell for so long, I never use it. It says, alternatively, you can make a target indifferent about creatures of your choice that it's hostile towards.
Okay.
It ends if it's attacked or harmed by a spell, or if it witnesses its friends being harmed. Yeah.
Okay, so it'll make a charisma saving throw.
Yes. Click the thing.
Okay. So you're trying to make it indifferent towards you?
Yes. Towards
Alright.
all of us.
Yeah. So you let go, and as you do, you mutter under your breath, and there's this kind of shimmering near the head of this ogre. Shivers a bit. Are you guys hearing that on the mic? It's like somebody's clicking their mic. Do you have your phone near your mic, Savannah?
No?
Okay. Because it's making that noise like it did last time. Okay, I think it stopped. All right. The ogre kind of calms a bit and looks around.
Go on.
Begins to stand, kind of winces in pain as it tries to put its weight on on the leg that a little bit bashed, but it pulls itself up, turns in the direction that it came from, and just begins to walk that way.
We need to get out of sight because it's only gonna not be mad for like a minute.
You're muted.
Yeah, okay, let's go.
Okay.
Run away!
So leaving the two ogre bodies behind, and as the other ogre wanders into the brush,
As soon as we're distance away, I just say, I'll be amazed if the jungle doesn't kill him at this point.
That's not my problem.
So,
As we're walking.
so the Oni was Mother's favorite, right? That's what everybody else got?
That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think so.
Who did we piss off?
Probably a very big thing.
Probably
Whoops.
another ogre, and one that can get word around the island pretty quickly.
Yeah. That's gonna be interesting. Well, let's go.
Star, you okay?
I'm a little bit beaten up, but I'll live.
I'll do a first level cure wounds.
Yay!
Do you want to save it and I'll do lay on of hands?
That's up to you.
Yeah, let me do that.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and give you 10 points of lay on of hands.
Yay! I am miraculously fully healed.
all right. And as you guys go rushing away from the ogre bodies into the jungle, wondering the ire of what creature you might have brought upon yourself, we will go ahead and end our session there for tonight. Well done, everyone.
Oh my gosh, Rachel.
I killed
With-
the thing!
Your
Amazing!
2 hits.
Just like 2-shot killed an ogre.
Wow.
Basically like the silent Bob of the group. Like, I don't do anything, but when I do...
That was awesome.
I'm just happy I got a crit with a sneak attack. That I'm happy now. I can dark and die. I've achieved.
I'll remember that. Thank you for your permission. All right. So before we wrap things up for tonight, Savannah, do you have any announcements?
Nothing new. The same stuff I always gonna say. We have a lot of cool things going on this stream. If you like our lovely character art that you got to see today on our overlay and in our tokens, our wonderful friend Julie painted those for us. So if you like her art, if you're interested in knowing more about that or her as an artist, or you want to know when she's going to open commissions again, contact one of us, any of us, on Twitter, and we can put you in touch with her. If you like our overlays, and you want a cool overlay for your D&D game or your video game stream or anything like that, Sarah, our wonderful friend and player, created these for us. So contact her on Twitter if you want to talk to her about helping with an overlay or getting an overlay made for you. We played a lot of different music during our session today, which was really fun. All of our music is royalty-free music from Incomptech. We love it. We get all of our awesome, exciting, dramatic, fun music from there. So check it out. You can use that in your stream or in your game at home. All of our maps are made by our DM using Incarnate map-making software. So if you are wanting to make maps on your computer, check out Incarnate. It's really great, fairly user-friendly, easy to use, and it makes beautiful maps for your game. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Paranoia is the other thing I was going to mention. A couple of weeks ago, we played a wonderfully ridiculous and fun game of Paranoia here at UPick Gaming. We're going to be doing another one with some returning players and a couple of new players on July 2nd. So keep an eye out on the Twitters for that. We're going to play another game, Paranoia. That's a Sunday. Come check us out. It was really fun last time. If you missed the last one, it's up on YouTube, episode 1 of Paranoia. Bishop dies a lot. So go watch that. And while you're there, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also follow UPick Gaming on Twitter and here on Twitch. We are still trying to reach our follower goals so we can do a big dice giveaway. So click the buttons, like, follow, and subscribe. Tell your friends. And I think that's it.
Okay. And I'll go ahead and clarify because I said it earlier and I couldn't remember the time. It is going to be 4 p.m. Eastern time for the one-shot that I will be doing next Sunday. It's going to be horror-themed. It's going to be a little bit kind of psychological, horror-based. It's, going to be interesting. So we'll see. But that's going to have a couple of faces from here, including Savannah, Kyle, and Sarah, as well as 2 followers that we, the UPick Gaming channel, announced earlier. So, Savannah, did you raise your hand?
Yeah, I forgot to say, especially if this is your first time tuning in, but since we saw combat today, we do have, as some of you know, our player Kyle playing a homebrew class in our game that was created by our DM Sean, called the Soul Stitcher. That is on DM's Guild, so you can find the Soul Stitcher class on DM's Guild if you want to read more about it or try that in your own game. I think everybody else is doing handbook stuff. Sadell is playing the Unearthed Arcana Artificer class, and I think Barb's Barbarian Path is one of the Unearthed Arcanas as well. So if you want to know more about those and what we're using, reach out to us on Twitter. I'm sorry, can you guys hear that sound? There's a cat trying to get into a kitchen cabinet right now. He's making a lot of noise. So if you want to know about any of those, check those out. Contact us on Twitter, and the players can tell you a little bit more about the classes that they're playing.
Yep.
Okay. Otherwise, I think that's all of our announcements. We will be back here, same time, same place next week. Tune in to find out what happens next. But until next time, good night, Internet.
Good night.
Good night, Internet.
Internet.